Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review I want to look at the DC Universe Classics Matty Collector subscription exclusive platinum figure. Overall pretty cool figure, a couple things to point out of course, but I'm going to say right off the bat I do like this figure and I do recommend it, and it is basically the last figure of the core Metal Men group, so it's pretty much a must-have for a DC Universe Classics collector. She stands standard height for DC female, 6.5 just about. Overall, really good sculpt. Even though it's a monochromatic figure, it actually looks really nice. So I'm happy to have this in the collection. They did a really good job with the metallic. Everything's relatively uniform, so she looks really good. And in comparison to lead, you can see that the metals are obviously character specific, so they did a good job with that. And like I said, the sculpt is great. They did a really good job with the face sculpt and the hair and the hat and all that. Some people are complaining that the eyes are a little derpy, but they don't look too bad to me. They're pretty much centered, so I'm okay with it. And she does have basically her outfit exactly as it should look, so really no complaints there. As far as articulation goes, she's got the ball jointed head, so she does have a little bit of motion up and down. Of course, she has the swivel. The hair doesn't really get in the way too much, so that's good. Ball disc shoulders, so full range of motion there. Bicep swivel built in. Single jointed elbow, and then wrist rotation. She does have an ab crunch, but it's pretty much useless. You can't go forward at all. You can go back a little bit, but this sticks out, so it looks weird. So I guess you could kind of push that down if you wanted to, but it's probably not going to stay. She has a waist twist, but it doesn't look great, which is common for the DCUC female figures. The way they're designed, it just, once you turn the waist, it really ruins the sculpt. So if you're going to keep her straight, it's probably a good idea. She looks good that way, just not good once you rotate it. There's a lot of edges. She has the standard DC female hips, but you can't use them at all due to the skirt, really in any direction. So they're in there, but it's very, very limited, so don't expect much out of that. She has a thigh swivel cut joint right there, single jointed knee, good range of motion on that by the way, and a single jointed ankle, which is pretty good. And she doesn't have big feet. Some of the figures have big feet. Hers are relatively proportionate, so she's an overall good looking figure. It looks pretty much exactly how it should, so definitely recommend it. Just those few issues with the torso and the hips, and she's pretty much perfect. She comes with this guy right here, who is Tin. Almost forgot his name for a second. This is technically an accessory, I guess, but it's also a figure at the same time. The only problem is he only has a head swivel joint and cut joints for the shoulders as well. So he's fairly limited, and he's also a little bit too small. He should be, let's say, he is 4 inches almost 4 inches. He probably should be about 5. He should come up to her waist. Well, maybe even a little over her waist, to the waist of the male characters. As you can see, he's not very big at all. Very tiny. Compared to Lead, he's super tiny. I know Lead's too big, but still. So either way, he's still pretty cool. They did a good job with him. Looks pretty good. His nose is a separate piece like the penguin figure, so you can see a seam around it, but it's not too bad. And it'll be nice to have him on display with the other Metal Man figures. And I do recommend this figure. It's pretty good overall. It's really good overall. So go get it if you can. And stay tuned for more figure reviews, more custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.